we're going to stay in the same vein. Our next speaker is a Canadian who 4 years ago was having issues with some medical problems and picked up his business and moved to the area. And he's a veteran, and he is well-versed in the Canadian health system, and will run some comparisons, I'm sure, as to what we're headed for if we go down this slippery slope. So with that, I'd like to introduce Ralph Weber.
Thank you, Sandy. Hello, fellow Paso Robles.
Atascadero!
Hi, and Atascaderans, and everybody else. My name's Ralph Weber, and I moved to, can everybody hear me? Okay. I moved to California 4 years ago. My wife was from here. I moved after my wife was crippled by a 2.5-year wait for foot surgery in Canada. We got married right here in the Paso Robles Inn, 1999, March 6th. Moved to Canada. She waited 2.5 years for foot surgery because of government rationing, and she was crippled. My son was hit by a car on his bicycle with no helmet. His head went through the windshield, and he waited 3 hours in a hospital, in the hallway, in the corridor, on a gurney, got an x-ray, no CT scan, not available. My mother was diagnosed with breast cancer, and no lumpectomy, no radiation, no chemo was available because she was 65. She had to get a double mastectomy. That's it. That's why I left Canada 4 years ago. But that's not why I'm here today. I'm here today to tell you about what I think is one of the greatest threats to our liberty, to our freedom, the way things are going right now. And that's the government takeover of healthcare.
Amen.
In Canada, it's illegal for a Canadian resident or citizen, and incidentally, only 95% of Canadians are insured, 5% are uninsured. It's illegal for a Canadian to pay for private care. You can't go to a doctor and pay for care. You have to wait in the lineup with everybody else. The ones with money can come to the United States for treatment. The politicians, they can get treatment. The prisoners can, the professional athletes, but the regular citizens and residents cannot. They have to wait in line. They pay 52% income tax, 14% sales tax, and the government runs the biggest gas company in Canada. It's called Petro-Canada, where they sell gas for about $6.50 a gallon. The government runs the biggest airline. Costs $700 to go from Vancouver to Toronto. The government controls liquor distribution. It'll cost you $30 for a dozen beer, $16 for a bottle of cheap wine, $109 for a bottle of Grey Goose. All of this money goes to fund this government medicine system that they have in Canada that's dysfunctional. The wait lists are up to 84 weeks in some areas for neurosurgery. My wife waited 2.5 years, never got foot surgery. It takes 9 months to get an MRI. But that's not the worst of it. Think about what they're talking about now, the public option. We've all heard about the public option, okay? The government health plan that they want to offer us. Congressional Budget Office says that's going to cost $1 trillion over the next 10 years, and all it's going to do is cover 16 million of the 46 million uninsured for $1 trillion. Now, there's only 88 million Americans that pay taxes, so based on that estimate, that's $1,150 per taxpayer per year. That's not for your own coverage. That's to cover 1/3 of the current uninsured. For your own coverage, think about this. You know that we're paying 16% of gross domestic product for healthcare right now. So whatever your gross income is, 16% of that is what it's going to cost you. Joe the plumber makes $250,000, that's $20,000 a month. It's going to cost him $3,200 a month for government medicine.